Halloween
forever.
First of all, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Brian.
Thanks.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Second of all, do you guys know why you always see ghouls and demons hanging out on Halloween night?
No, I don't know why I always see that.
You know how we always see that, right?
Yeah.
Because demons are a ghoul's best friend.
Hey.
Welcome, boys and ghouls, to a motherfucking spooky bonus episode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian.
I'm Meg.
I'm Steve.
Hey, we're here. You didn't expect this. We threw out a little bonus episode for you. For those of you who are regular listeners to the podcast, thank you. And for those of you who are not, fuck you. But no, we were supposed to do a live show this weekend, Halloween weekend, and unfortunately some things came up and we weren't able to do that. We're going to postpone it, and we're actually talking about doing like some sort of like other holiday type of thing, which should be super fun. But as a consolation, because I know we did get reached out to from some of our lovely friends on the social medias and listeners and said, hey, that's a bummer. I really wanted to come to the live show in Pittsburgh. So we are bummed as well. But like I said, we're going to make it up to you because we don't reschedule that some bitch. But in the meantime, we decided to take kind of one of the things we were planning on doing during that live show and do it for a little Halloween weekend spooky ooky bonus episode here, which is we wanted to talk about some of our favorite Halloween commercials, vintage commercials, contemporary commercials. But listen, I'm a sucker for some advertising. I mean, I'm seriously sitting here looking at a whole windowsill full of fucking McDonald's and Burger King toys. I'm a sucker for some advertising. I got my McBoo pails. And you know, I think we all kind of share a little bit of that affinity. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite ones specific to the spooky season. Before we do that, guys, if you're new to the show, I know we get a lot of new listeners here on these big holiday weeks. Check us out on the social medias, you know, at Halloween is Forever on the Twitters and the Instagrams and just and the TikTokies and the Facebooks and all that sort of thing. You know, like and subscribe. If you feel so inclined, write us one of them little old comments and give us a 5-star review. We'll send you some fucking stickers in the mail if you DM us. So we very much appreciate you checking out the show here and hope you're having a lovely Halloween weekend here. So certainly not a normal format here for us. We're going to jump in and start talking about some of our favorite Halloween commercials. We don't know what each other's are. So this will be kind of a surprise for everyone. But we each pick 3 and we're going to watch them together and we're going to talk about why they're cool and why they suck. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, you already mentioned it, Brian. It's like we all, I think, our generation is afflicted from the Saturday morning cartoon serial generation of like having all our toys and everything advertised at us. Yeah. And like I that may be something like the younger generations actually aren't going to have because everything is streaming and internet.
My kids don't. It's funny. They're just as susceptible, but they're not exposed to it as much. So like, I'll give you an example. Today, my kids are watching a show that they usually watch on a streaming service, I think on Netflix, and it's a Nickelodeon show. And just so happens my wife had put on like YouTube TV, so they're watching Nickelodeon live and they're watching the show they normally watch streaming. And every single commercial on Nickelodeon, obviously, especially this time of year, is just toy commercials. Yeah. And every single one, they're like, I want that. That's awesome. And I'm like, you guys are they're even more susceptible because they're so rarely exposed to commercials, to kid focused commercials. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but
they're already starting their Christmas list right now.
Oh yeah. That's what I keep saying. They're like, I want that. And I'm like,
that's cool.
Christmas
Great
list, guys.
Dope. Glad you want that.
Glad you want that.
That's what I got as a kid. I'm glad you want that.
Yeah, that was mine too. It's like, cool. Ask awesome. Santa. He's probably not going to bring it, but fuck you.
Yeah, on top of all the advertising we got seasonal advertising. So I just wanted to start with one that absolutely just got in my brain and probably hasn't left me and is, just stuck with me. And I'm brand loyal to this company, and it's Pizza Hut. I love Pizza Hut.
I love Pizza Hut too.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everybody, I'm done trick-or-treating and now I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Oh, trick-or-treat! Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza.
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who is here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place. You gotta go. I wanna go to Pizza Hut now.
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Hey, put me down! Put me down!
See you next time.
Woo!
The Pizza Hut, Pizza Head Steve, Pizza Head and Steve. I mean, obviously that affected me because it spoke directly to me because there was a character named Steve.
Yeah.
Did you ever dress up as Pizza Steve?
I did.
Well, he's actually Steve is the pizza cutter.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Pizza Head
did
is
you dress up as the cutter?
I did not ever dress up as a pizza cutter. I'm sorry, no.
This
Missed
one,
opportunity.
I almost picked the Goosebumps one of Pizza Head, the Pizza Head show, where they gave away like some sort of free Goosebumps goodie at Pizza Hut. When you bought a personal pan, what the fuck ever. But this was like there was this weird. This was got to be from the mid '90s, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is early '90s.
Yeah, and it was weird because it was basically a ripoff of Mr. Bill,
right,
from the '70s,
right,
which was like this, and it was weird because they had a bunch like this was a thing you saw all the time between Pizza Head and Stickly on Nickelodeon too. Like everyone kind of did these like weird Mr. Bill ripoffs in the mid '90s.
Yeah. Although to be fair, like even though this is a complete ripoff of Mr. Bill, it's from the same writer.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can go on the Wikipedia page, and it's but it's from the Walter Williams. He worked with an advertising agency to create this whole Pizza Hut campaign.
The thing I love about these ones is all the like the little models and stuff in the background.
Yeah.
Like I just am a sucker for like toy trains and listen, I have a fucking Halloween village, guys. So I'm obviously a sucker for this. Like I just want to shrink down and live in this weird little town where there's just a Pizza Hut.
Right. Where there's a tiny Pizza Hut that gets crushed by a pumpkin.
And I live there and I just drink everything out of those red cups. And yeah.
Well, I just love the idea that you may in the future live in a building that used to be a Pizza Hut.
Oh my God,
because
I
all
would
those
give
buildings
anything.
still look like a Pizza Hut.
It would be a fucking dream come true. If I could live in an abandoned Pizza Hut, like just on a dirty piss-soaked mattress on the floor, that would be my dream come true. Just eating petrified crusts and fighting rats for like little bits of Parmesan cheese. Oh, that's my dream.
I love the thing, and it was also in the Mr. Bill show, but like the thing about this is they don't try to get around anything with the animation. They just have a hand. Yeah,
it's clear. You can very clearly see the hand.
Yeah, it's just a hand. And then like in this one, the hand's wearing a skeleton costume because it's, for the season.
Yeah. It's like it's the uninvited of pizza commercials.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no conceit or anything. It's just like, yeah, it's a pizza that's guided by a hand, and he's also the narrator and the friend, and he puts him in the danger with the pizza cutter.
Yeah. He and with Mr. Bill, it was, I forget who the bad guy in Mr. Bill was. I forget what his name was.
It was Sluggo, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But he was just always like doing horrible things to Mr. Bill, and of course, in this instance, it's a pizza cutter, as you might imagine. But in this instance, dressed up like a Dracula. But I do like the oh, it's pretty interesting. Something on the surface. Oh my God! It's talking about like the interesting inscription on the sarcophagus or something, and then it's the damn mummy pizza cutter.
It's damn Mummy Steve coming out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's jump in this next one.
Yeah. So the first one I chose, I didn't know totally where to start. I think like my mind went blank until I started diving into things. And once I started seeing these 1-900, I mean, this was in an era when, we were having, what is it, like the Miss Cleo phone like hotline thing where you were charged like $500 a phone call.
Yeah.
And then you like pissed off your parents and you're like, oh, I want to talk to Freddy Krueger or whoever. And like doing a little background that there was like a Chucky one.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And even seeing like the advertisements were just hilarious. Yeah. So let's dive into that one.
We should do a Jason Voorhees one where he just breathes into the thing for 2 minutes and charges you $5.
But then you just get really mad. I'd be like, who is this?
Once again, foolish friends, Freddy Krueger is on your phone. Dial this number now. I've got some tales to tell. Freddy's favorite bedtime stories. Dead time stories. All brand new, straight from my boiler room to your home. It's Freddy Krueger on your phone. So dial this number now if you dare. Tell him Freddy sent you.
$2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Children, get your parents' permission before you dial.
What I like, I don't know if you guys are done, but like the guy that's narrating it sounds like he would have been a like announcer on like a wrestling. Like
I was
WCW or
just
something,
thinking that is he because it's clearly not the real Freddy Krueger.
It's not Robert Englund.
No, there's no Robert Englund was never anywhere close to this. They definitely like pitch down his voice digitally, but he even slips into Macho Man just for a
little
sec.
bit.
Yeah.
He's like,
Saboteur Slim Jim.
yeah, well,
That's
he's
what he
talking
sounded
about,
like.
Yeah, he does. He's like talking about it, and then I forget what the phrase he says is, but he's like, and it's all new, and he says somebody actually goes into Macho Man for just a quick second.
Just a quick second. It's like, it's all new bedtime stories. I mean, dead time stories. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the cream rises to the top. He I almost actually one of mine I almost picked was the 900 number, which I posted on the Instagram page not that long ago on one of our reels, where it's just a skeleton and he's just like, call in, we'll talk about skeletons and to say skeleton jokes, $5 a minute. It's like so predatory. It's always like don't forget to ask your parents before calling, and it's like no one ever asks their parents ever.
Absolutely
No one
not.
would ever ask their parents.
But
So you're half the time probably sneaking to watch these movies.
yeah.
Like, you want to talk to who?
Once people figured out, like, you could like trick children into calling for jokes and shit. It wasn't just hotlines for perverts.
Yeah.
Like once they figured that out, they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we could like totally get kids to just call in and they'll listen to jokes for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just sit in a chair, kick their feet and listen to fucking jokes and like run up an insane bill.
and their parents are either not going to notice when they pay the phone bill, or they are going to notice and they don't have time to call and argue to get the charges removed. So
Right.
You know what I
it's
love
just
about these two is
predatory.
that these are still just like evolving. Like you see how many comedians out there have like their own phone number, or like entrepreneurs I've like seen put phone numbers. Like this still exists.
Oh yeah,
This
this
still
is
goes on.
this is proto cameo. This is
proto cameo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For 5 minutes. But this was just a recording of Freddy.
Oh yeah, this was
Or
just a
somebody
recording.
trying to sound like Freddy.
Right. Now you can, I mean, I don't know if the actual Robert Englund is on Cameo, but like it's the same thing. You find actors that you like, you get fucking all the cast from The Office to wish you a dumb happy birthday and pay them a bunch of money.
My friend got Flava Flav to do a video telling us that he was quitting his job. It was amazing. It was incredible.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we got my one friend. We got him Jake the Snake Roberts to wish him a happy birthday.
Nice.
Cameo roles.
Yeah, probably the most predatory one I saw was like the Undertaker, and he was doing them for like 500 a pop. Like,
Was he doing
Really?
500?
Yeah.
He's a he's definitely on the higher end of the type of people that there's Flava Flav and the Undertaker, not necessarily on the same level, but at least not anymore. But interestingly enough, there are people who make like Kevin from The Office supposedly makes like $1 million a year or something on Cameo.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Kevin and Stanley rack up on Cameo.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's I could just go through. We could do a whole episode just on 900 numbers. There's there's one you got to look up. I actually posted it like months back on our Instagram. It's called like 1-900 something freak. And it's this little puppet just talking about like he's the party freak.
Oh God.
It's awesome. Just look at like 900. It's like 900-490 freak or something. It's just like he says this little song. It's fucking unbelievable. It's just like a fever dream. Like it's wild.
Oh yeah, no, the 1-900-490 freak.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just watch it real
Freak
quick.
phone. Freddie
Freak phone.
Freaker.
Freddie Freaker.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Definitely
yourself
gonna
a
watch that
favor.
later.
Do yourself a favor. Get real stoned and watch Freddie Freaker. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is happening? He's like, I'm a party guy and I'm at the band. Like it's just this fucking insanity. All right. I think is it my turn?
It is your turn.
All right, guys. I am going to talk about just a damn gem from the year of our Lord, 1990. This is a Miller Lite commercial starring the late, great saxophonist of the E Street Band, Mr. Clarence Clemens, talking about Miller Lite and Halloween for some reason, and it's fucking amazing.
Guess what? You're invited to the Halloween party of the year. Miller Lite's big Halloween haunt.
Right, big man. 160 very lucky people will be flown to Universal Studios Hollywood.
Find this special can hidden in 12 packs and cases of Miller Lite. It's your invitation to go.
Oh, and 45,000 other prizes. Details from Miller Lite. It's gold.
Man, it's gonna be a scream.
There's a lot to dissect here.
I want to find one of those cans.
Yeah, listen, that is just, listen, I could have done like the Beerwolf from Coors Light. There's so many good Halloween beer commercials, but this one doesn't get enough love. I feel like it's a little bit of a deep cut. And I mean, Clarence Clemens has been dead for like over a decade, I think. So kids definitely don't know who he is. But just, it doesn't follow the vibe of what they're communicating at all. Like it's almost like they were going to do it with like DJ Jazzy Jeff, but then he bowed out. So they got Clarence Clemens to fill in last minute. They have like the hip hop, like the hip hop mummy. It's so great. He's like, the way he talks is, he clearly doesn't know anything about like even how to sound like someone who knows the first thing about like 90s hip hop culture, 80s hip hop culture.
He is
backward hat for me.
Yeah.
He is absolutely like a theater kid from Connecticut or Rhode Island.
Lost.
He's probably never like hung around like anybody who even listens to hip hop.
He's never seen a black person until they filmed it that day.
Right.
He saw Clarence Clemens.
No, he has his back to Clarence Clemens upside down on the ceiling, so he still didn't even see a black person then.
That's true. He's literally never saw a black person in real life. Yeah. It is so wild. Then there's these two guys who fly in who look like Bill and Ted. And it's just doesn't make any sense.
They're not flying into the Halloween party. They're flying to Universal Studios.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. That was a big thing for a minute, was everybody was going to Universal Studios Hollywood. Freaking, multiple there. I saw a Budweiser one. There's definitely the Elvira, Coors Light one, where they're going to party at the Psycho Mansion and all that stuff. So like, there's just so many where they were going to Universal Studios.
Yeah, and then there's this other one here. These two greasers that are mounted in the wall.
Yeah, what were they? Were they supposed to be Elvis?
They're just 1950s greasers. They got the pompadours and they're fucking the outsiders.
Yeah, it's just Pony Boy and Soda Pop just popping out. Yeah. I have no fucking idea. Then there's like these, what for the time was pretty cool, like ghost effects, but then everything else is just vomit of slightly spooky pop culture just bile shot all over the screen. And like I said, Clarence Clemens is screaming at the camera. And they're like, this is the greatest party ever. And there's not even that many people at the party. It's such a weird ass commercial that just didn't. And there were so many other ones like it that really made the Halloween party look really fun. But this one just looks so weird and janky that it feels like they're trying to lure you into like somewhere you don't want to be.
Right.
That's why I think I like it. Is it somehow seems more
there's something dangerous about it. Like getting sent to Universal Studios is not a prize.
Yeah, like you're gonna end up like some indentured servant or something like that at Universal Studios.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play the monsters when you get there. You're the new mummy.
Sorry, you're the mummy now.
Yeah,
you live here.
You won. You're the new mummy. That's not what I thought. I thought I was going to get drunk on Miller Lite.
I thought I was going to get drunk and party with Clarence Clemens. They're like, Clarence isn't here. You're the mummy now. You have to take pictures with kids in a mummy costume in 90-degree heat in October for the rest of your life.
This fucking blows.
This blows. As he's getting dragged into like fucking catacombs.
Oh no. All right. Let's move on to the next one. I got some Duncan.
You got a little Duncan
I got Duncan.
Yeah.
I remember this one, and mostly this is like a trauma event. Like
it's a trauma event.
If Pizza Hut like won me over into like being a Pizza Hut lifer, with naming characters Steve, Duncan somehow like I just have like a Stockholm syndrome with them because I vividly remember this commercial, but I also vividly remember my grandma making me go to Duncan on Halloween dressed up. And just like not even the trick or treat.
You're 17.
That was the problem. That was the real problem.
All the kids are outside the window just pointing and laughing at you, and you're like, "No, grandma,
grandma."
No, grandma.
But no, I was supposed to go trick or treating in her neighborhood, but she took me to Duncan, and like we had to like sit. I had to sit in Duncan while like she had her fucking treats for the day and talk to all the neighborhood people, and I'm just like in costume at Duncan. Like,
didn't you have a very similar one of being at the Hallmark store having that exact same thing happen?
Yeah, my mom did that to me.
Your adult supervision, they don't understand that trick or treat's a finite amount of time.
Yeah, it was always like a secondary event to them. Or they made me get dressed up early so they could do their thing and then take me trick or treating. But yeah, let's watch this donkey commercial.
let's watch Steve's trauma.
Yeah.
As Halloween approaches, you have to prepare yourself for what might happen. Roar and sprinkle. It's a special time of year, and Dunkin' Donuts is dressing up their donuts for the occasion. And here's the werewolf. So come to Dunkin' Donuts and get into the spirit of Halloween.
We'd like some Halloween donuts, please.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that one, like two things immediately come to mind. They had me at leaves blowing. Like if you just put some leaves and then a fan, I'm going to watch it. Like just leaves blowing across the ground, I'm in.
Yeah.
But then I do remember those donuts with those little hard
shitty sugar pieces.
You just took them off and threw them away. Otherwise your teeth would explode when you tried to eat one. It was like they put a jawbreaker on a donut and they were like, here, child, choke or explode your teeth.
They literally like had the same consistency as sugar cubes, but for some reason were shaped like Wolfman and Frankenstein's.
Give me that Frankenstein crunch.
You guys
teeth
were eating
everywhere.
them? Those are just collectibles, guys.
Yeah, they could have been. Listen, if I had the foresight, I would have just kept them and just let them sit here, and they would look exactly the same in my office with all my other stupid toys.
I'm sure. I'm sure they don't go bad.
Yeah, here's another hot take. Dunkin' sucks,
right?
Dunkin' do not.
I'm not going to hate on Dunkin'.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. If I am driving somewhere and they got a Dunkin' and I need some coffee, like, listen, last night I drove home in the middle of the damn night. I was drinking 7-Eleven coffee. It was fine. I'll drink absolute dog shit coffee. But for the following Dunkin' has, like, that makes no sense compared to the quality.
Yeah, it's so bad, but the quality's like terrible. The only Dunkin' I drink is like if it's a goofed up sugar mess, like the peanut butter cup macchiato they have right now. Hey, that rules. But like just drinking the regular coffee is terrible. The donuts are awful.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we have. I mean, I live 5 minutes from Orem's, so I only eat Orem's because they're the greatest donuts that ever existed. But if you have an Orem's donut beside a Dunkin' Donuts donut, you're gonna be like, "Fuck you! Stick that up your ass." You know what? Though weird is not weird, but like you guys probably know this. The further you get east. So for those of you who are new to the show, we live in Pittsburgh. If you move further east, they're Dunkin' obsessed. There is a goddamn Dunkin' Donuts every 5 feet in the greater Philadelphia area.
Yeah. Although I will say Ohio is also full of Dunkin'.
Are they?
Yeah, but that's like Ohio is also just like trash people and everything is strip malls anyway. Yeah. And so like Dunkin' just sees the real estate is easy.
We're now starting a feud with Ohio, Steve.
Just now starting? I thought we've always been.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah, I mean we have, but now you're just being really vocal about it.
Ohio is like the state of chains. Like I don't think there's any state in the country that is more just everything is like a national chain.
Yeah.
Not everything. I mean, there's obviously great places to eat. Our lovely friends at Pizza Nerds.
Oh yeah.
But like there is a disproportionate amount of like shitty chain restaurants and gas stations and coffee shops and all that sort of stuff in Ohio compared to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And it's just because Ohio has been set up as like a strip mall fucking state. The same way New Jersey is. Like they're both just lined with like these little commerce pop-ups that are just like have 8 or 5, 8 to 10 fucking, chains that you go into.
I like 8 or 5. There's 8 or 5.
One that's
every one of them's got like 8 or 5 of this.
We need to look up the statistics on who the largest employer is in Ohio. And if it's Dunkin', that'd be great. Definitely Massachusetts is probably Dunkin'.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're even more so up there. But yeah, it's like, okay, it's fine, but I would just as happily drink. I mean, I would honestly probably prefer Sheetz coffee to Dunkin'.
Sure.
I would certainly prefer Wawa coffee to Dunkin'.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to stay in defense of Dunkin', but I'm going to stay in defense, but in all reality, I feel like I only really go there around this time for their like pumpkin, like the cold foam cream cold brew or whatever it's called.
Yeah. But I mean,
that shit is bomb.
Yeah, I mean the Starbucks, the pumpkin foam cold brew, whatever, like it's pretty good. And I don't hate Starbucks a little bit more, love it, but oh yeah, here, guess who the number one employer in the year 2021 was in the state of Ohio?
Is this Kroger?
It's Walmart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which there's probably multiple states that are like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the largest employer in the state of Ohio is in fact Walmart, which makes a lot of sense. All right, let's go into the next one.
I know everyone's gonna be so excited about this one. We have the Boo Buckets out right now, and so it's been on my mind, and then I found this one specifically. But I always remember as a child being really excited about those little chicken nuggets, especially when they were like dressed up as like in different costumes and stuff like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, particularly for like the 3 characters at the end. So let's just dive into it.
Oh boy, there should be some wildlife around here.
Surprise!
The McDonald's Happy Meal guys.
Yep, chicken McNuggets, regular soft drink, and regular fries.
And they aren't lying.
What do you put in your McDonald's Halloween pumpkins?
Boopty and McBoo, matey. Carrot and McGowan. Golden McPumpkin, partner.
Now you can collect one of 3 different pumpkins with the purchase of every McDonald's Halloween Pumpkin Happy Meal. What you put in them is up to you.
It's so cute. I like how the They specifically, you guys can correct me. Like they don't refer to them specifically as like McGoblin or McBoo. They just call all of them McBoos now, right?
Well, so that was the first incarnation of them, where they were all three pumpkins, and they were different faces on the pumpkins, and they had three different names. It was like McPumpkin, McBoo, and McGoblin or something like that. And then the next year they did them, I think, is when they brought the ghost,
the color,
the witch and the pumpkin. And then they did another one with like a purple witch, and they did ones with cookie cutter hats, and then they did,
I remember those as kids.
They did peanuts ones at one point. But what I was saying is I actually literally have McNugget buddies sitting right here.
Nice.
There's always Halloween McNugget buddies within several feet of my my reach. I love those commercials, but also it kind of makes me sad that the new pails, they need lids, guys. I can't stress this enough. I know we've all heard it. I'm preaching to the choir here. Put some lids on them, you cheap fucks.
That's shameful. They just gave him like the KFC bucket toppers.
They did. Oh, God. It's shameful. It's shameful.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say the kid in this commercial is a tryhard.
Yeah, that kid, especially the kid. Yeah, especially the bunny one. Is it the same kid 3 times?
I think it's the same kid 3 times.
Oh, then
different costumes.
Punch. Then he's getting 3 knuckle sandwiches, because that little fucking dress. First of all, dress is something scary.
Yeah,
right? Don't be a goddamn bunny
you
rabbit.
Like the cowboy? I loved the cowboy.
No, I wanted to kick him down the stairs.
Come on, partner.
Yeah, no, I wanted to kick him down the stairs. You gotta be fun and spooky on Halloween. Don't dress up as things that aren't spooky.
I swear to God, this is I don't think the timeline matches up, but the kid in this McDonald's commercial is probably also the mummy in the Miller Lite commercial.
Yeah.
Just an obnoxious little try-hard theater kid.
Yeah. And his mom's off screen, like mouthing the lines as he's saying them.
Yeah. Bigger, Tyler. Bigger.
Tyler. I was going to say Connor, but back then it was definitely Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said
Tyler, bigger, smile, bigger.
Yeah. I almost said Braden, but that's a today name.
No, Braden's it would be Braden now, but it is Tyler back then for sure.
There's gold in them hills.
Shut up, Tyler.
God damn it.
Yeah, as soon as Tyler got back to school, he just got a fucking atomic wedgie, just pulled up
absolutely.
over his head.
Where's your buckets, nerd?
All right, coming on back over to your boy here. We are starting up one that is, so I was a hardcore, this is probably the latest one on the list, I think, certainly for me. This is from 98, which I was, 12, 13 years old when this one came. I was probably 12 when this came out. So I was a little bit, but I still was a big Nickelodeon kid. All the Nicktoons, Ren and Stimpy, freaking Hey Arnold, all that shit. So this was definitely late in my Nickelodeon watching years, but the song in this one is one of those ones that I will, 25 years later, find myself just walking around the house and it pops into my head. Like it's tattooed on my fucking brain. So my 2 favorite things about that is, one, the song, which I will just be walking around my house and be like, Cousin Skeeter, Alex Mack, like they'll just pop into my head. But that song just is like an earworm. But also at the end where it's like, brought to you by World of Tonka and Hasbro's Girls Toys.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like that was a thing back then. It was like, here's G.I. Joes, here's Ninja Turtles, here's whatever. And like, yeah, girls might be in that. into that. But then also there was a whole nother genre that was just girls' toys.
Yeah.
And they were all pink. And there's not as much of this now. There's definitely plenty of toys that are geared more towards girls rather. But back then it was like so like, I don't know that kids nowadays understand how weird it was back then, where the shows that I watched, I never saw an ad for girls' toys, really. And if one came up, I would be like, what the fuck? Like, they were so good at targeting it. Like, if you watched Gummy Bears on Saturday morning, you would see Barbie commercials.
Right.
But if you were watching G.I. Joe, never ever would see a Barbie commercial. Right. It was just like so like just
they were
everything
action
was
figures, Brian.
Yeah, they were so gender specific. Everything was so gender specific, and it was just like jammed down your throat as a kid so much. And like secretly, you know, guys would be like, God damn, like that Barbie Corvette's sick as fuck. Like, I would definitely play with that Barbie Corvette or that Barbie speedboat. Like, I remember my older cousin had like a Barbie speedboat. I was like, that thing fucking rules. That's way better than my Cobra Commander boat.
Even her mansion was like bigger than a lot of the other playsets. Like, it was bigger than the Technodrome.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just like, my Ghostbusters could really stretch out in here. Like,
yeah, it was the best. It was so much bigger than like the SS Flag. But the thing was, as I used to collect, I was into G.I. Joes, but I also collected the full size G.I. Joes.
Oh, okay.
But which were Barbies, Army Barbies, basically. But there was no big cool thing like that for the big G.I. Joes. They just were like, they just gave you platforms to put them on a shelf. I was like, this is boring
wasn't
as
there
fuck.
like a Jeep and that was about it?
Yeah, I think there was. I think actually I had I think I did have a helicopter,
okay,
like a little like one man little helicopter thing. But it's just like, I love I completely forgot about the fact that it was just straight girls' toys. like I have two kids, you know, young kids that are both girls, and it's not like that anymore. Like, yes, there is like an aisle at Target. First of all, there's not toy stores like there used to be.
No.
Like Toys R Us doesn't exist.
Yeah,
KB Toys doesn't exist.
Toys R Us was wildly segregated.
Oh, it was wild. You didn't even go in the girls' aisle.
Nope.
The girl, down the girls' aisle. Everything was pink, and it was just like, you can't go down there, or you're immediately gay.
Right. You're gay or you're weird or something. Like, you want to be gay? You want to risk it? You want to end up being gay? Like, that was what it was in 1992. But also, like, there's no Batmans down there for you. So you just wouldn't go. Yeah.
But you'd be like, oh, I wonder what's down there. And then your dad would be like, don't go down there, because that was what it was in 92. Because everyone was super homophobic. Anyway, my dad, maybe. I don't know what you guys said. My dad's probably listening to this right now. Like, I didn't say that.
My dad, no, because my dad wouldn't even take me there. So...
Yeah, my dad, you didn't say it, but he was thinking it. But anyway, now you go down like, there is like a section where it's more like dolls, you know what I mean? Like, especially for like younger girls, like more like baby doll kind of things, stuff like that. But it's not anywhere nearly as like crazy dichotomy as it was back then. Mm-hmm. But this one is just like, there were so many just like interstitial Nickelodeon things that I could have picked, and this one is just like one of those ones that stick in my head, like Snicker Treat. I loved Snicker Treat. That. I was such a my brother and I were obsessed with Snick. Mm-hmm. Like Saturday night, it was Snick. It was Are You Afraid of the Dark, Ren and Stimpy, you know, all that, Roundhouse, whatever. Like we were like a half hour before it started, we already had freaking popcorn and shit ready to go. This was a little bit on the late end of that, but for whatever reason, that song always sticks in my head. Yeah.
Nickelodeon was always pretty good about just like transforming itself to like, because they all made seasonal shows.
Sure.
You know, around this time, and that's the reason why like TV has seasons. Is because they were set up in a way that, like, you know, the early seasons were always like in March and everything. That's when they had a thing called sweeps, which is where they judged whether or not a show could continue.
Right.
And then like every other show came at the end, had Halloween episodes, Thanksgiving episodes, and Christmas episodes. And it was all, it was all holiday geared. But yeah, Nickelodeon always like turned over into this big Halloween channel.
Yeah. Like you would maybe get like a TGIF Halloween promo like the week before Halloween. But with Nickelodeon, it was like October 1st, you started seeing it, which was great.
Yeah, because it's time to be spooky, and we're going to rerun the same fucking show over and over.
and you're going to watch it, you dumb little fuck.
Yeah.
And I did.
You dumb, and you don't know any better.
Although to this day, I still watch the Pete and Pete Halloweenies episode every single year without fail. I've never, there's never been a year since it came out that I didn't watch it.
Nice.
I love that show.
Well, I think my next one and my last one goes kind of hand in hand with what we're talking about. But I picked the Treehouse of Horror promo.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know this one.
And the obviously like Treehouse of Horror from The Simpsons has like been a big part of every 90 kids growing up. Some were allowed to watch The Simpsons and some weren't. And I was allowed to watch The Simpsons household.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, we kind of were allowed to watch whatever, but I remember like one of my best friends growing up whose mom would occasionally babysit us when my mom worked like nights or whatever at the hospital. Like we get off the bus at his house and stuff. He was not allowed, and they're super like turbo Christian, like they're like missionary Christian, like so they were definitely not allowed to watch The Simpsons. And I remember very explicit, like extremely detailed memory of me at probably 8 to 10 years old. I don't know how old. No, it was definitely 8 because I was definitely staying home by myself all day, every day when I was like 9. So I was probably 7 or 8. And I remember being at their house and I said something about The Simpsons and his mom like interrupted me and was like, we don't watch The Simpsons.
Oh,
and I was like,
God.
Oh yeah. You got to check it out. Like it's really funny. It's this. And she was like, no, we choose not to watch The Simpsons.
Oh,
like,
wow.
What? Like I didn't get it. I didn't understand why. And then I went back to my parents and I was like, they said that they don't choose not to watch The Simpsons. And I remember my dad being like, she's a bitch. My dad was like, yeah, fuck her or whatever. Just like whatever. She's like, she's a fucking Jesus freak or whatever. This was like in the inner like time between when I grew up going to Sunday school and then that like 10-year span where my parents got like really into Jesus. Like this was before that. So I was like, they were like, yeah, whatever, they're Jesus freaks.
Whatever. Nutbags. But yeah, I mean, Treehouse of Horror, it was always fun to like get excited for what the episode was going to be. So let's check it out.
Has Bart joined the living dead? We have to kill the boy!
How'd you know he's a vampire?
Vampire? Ah! The Simpsons Scare-a-thon continues next.
Oh, that was a great one.
So it's like it's just a really simple teaser, and it just it got you excited for the Treehouse of Horror that was coming up. But like they all, you can go and watch a bunch of these, and they all have this jank ass version of Thriller in the background.
It's like the intro to Thriller, and they're just like looping that like organ music kind of thing.
But like that, you're talking about how the Nickelodeon song is stuck in your head. That jank ass Thriller is like a earworm for me because I remember
seeing that on Fox all the time.
Yeah. But it was always that's good memories for me, is just like remembering like, oh, Treehouse of Horror is coming up, what's coming on Treehouse of Horror, and then they show a bunch of things that I wouldn't get the reference to until much later in life.
Yeah, like this like the Salem's Lot reference in that. Like I remember seeing that episode of The Simpsons way before I watched Salem's Lot.
Right.
And then being so freaked out by that scene. That one absolutely scared the fuck out of me for years when I was a kid. But I also love one of my most vivid Simpsons memory. I'm a huge Simpsons fan. And in recent years, I haven't been as into it, but I was for years and years and years, huge Simpsons fan. And the little intro they did in the very first, and even the first several, I think, Treehouse of Horrors, where Marge comes out on stage and says to put the kids to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I so vividly remember after Trick or Treat, going to my grandparents' house. We'd always finish at their house and like count all our candy and shit, and sitting there and watching that little intro about how you should put the kids to bed and thinking like, oh, should I be watching this? Like,
yeah. There was that spark, that early spark of, ooh, this is dangerous TV's on now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's phone.
That was mine. Meg, what's your last commercial?
So I wanted to round it out with something beer related, and so this is our beer commercial number 2, and it's Coors. And you already kind of briefly mentioned the werewolf or the Beerwolf.
Oh yeah.
So this one's, I think, a really fun one. So let's pop into it.
All you ghouls and goblins gather round. Time for chills and thrills, so party down. No matter who you like to bite, you're gonna want Coors and Coors Light tonight.
Coors Light Beerwolf is there. Fun is everywhere.
Get ready for excitement when Coors is on the scene.
'Cause anything can happen.
On a Coors and Coors Light Halloween.
I feel like this is a song Jason Segel would have written in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
this is the ultimate earworm. Like, I actually did this when I did a similar episode on the Haunted Hangover podcast. When I was on with them, I chose this as one of mine. And this will be like, I will be laying in bed tonight going, chills and thrills, so party down. Like, I'll be singing that in my head on the way.
I love it's such a great like bad advertising in a way, because they do so much to force the product name.
Coors and Coors Light.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter who you like to bite, you'll love Coors and Coors Light.
At the end, where it's like, you have a Coors and Coors Light Halloween. Like, they had to jam in the Coors and Coors Light.
Yeah.
Like, that was the note. The guy wrote this. He was like, oh, I wrote this great jingle. You're going to love it. They were like, you have to say Coors and Coors Light. He's like, what? How?
Yeah, but you got to say them both. You got to say them both.
Yeah.
We're advertising both.
that's really hilarious.
Also this one, I remember watching this, seeing this on TV, because they ran this for a while, and I remember seeing it, and that scene where the girl like rushes him with the clown, like the clown just rushes him. You're like, what's happening? And then she spins around, and it was all like on like it was like her back
We
was
don't
the
have
costume.
costumes like that anymore.
I know. Like, also all those people were just like getting it in, they were just, like, everyone got drunk and fucked after that party.
Yeah.
And it was just,
Oh, this is just the prequel to an orgy, dude.
Yeah, it was. The beer commercials back then were so horny. Like, not even like in the 90s, it would just be like, here's a like woman in a bikini. Like, back then it was like, here are people getting drunk and ready to fuck.
Yeah, for sure. The magician in this commercial fucked the clown lady from behind so that he was staring at the clown while he gave her back shots.
Staring into the clown's eyes as he's just throwing ropes.
Yeah. Like, he is deep stroking her, but staring at the clown. Like, it's why she put the costume on.
Yeah, this isn't their first rodeo. I mean, she knows what it does to them.
Yeah.
Like, fucked up backstory. Oh, backstory.
Oh my God.
All right. So this is one of my all-time favorites. I love the Beerwolf. And even when I worked at Miller Coors, I was always going to the Coors brand team, why aren't you doing Beerwolf? What is wrong with you? Bring Beerwolf back. Like,
They still sell the hats. I just was looking it up.
well, they're slowly starting to bring it back, but I told, because I worked in marketing at Miller Coors, and I didn't work on Coors Light, but I would tell them constantly, why why aren't we doing Beerwolf? Like, why haven't we brought back Beerwolf? Everything is all about like nostalgia and all this stuff. And it's like, it's so silly, but it's just so ripe for the picking. But you know, they were like, well, Latino women don't like Beerwolf, and you're like, it doesn't matter. Like, just bring it back.
They will.
Like,
they will if you show it to them.
Yeah, they're so into like where you know these focusing on these specific segments and all that. I get it. Listen, I'm not the person in charge there, but they yeah, just such a missed opportunity to not get out there with the Beerwolf guys. Come on.
They could have done so much more. I think Beerwolf is for everybody. You don't have to.
You're leaving money on the table, guys. You're leaving money on the table. All right. I think that brings us to our last one, which is my final one, which I had to pick an Elvira. You know, Elvira has been you know, she was on the Halloween special for The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. Like she's been very, you know, experiencing quite a resurgence in recent, you know, in the last couple of years.
She was in the Munsters.
She was in the Munsters. She recently, you know, came out as gay and owned so many, like really, conservative incels that were like, don't ruin my dreams by saying you're gay. I thought I had a chance. Like, so I love that as well. So I had to pick an Elvira one. But instead of picking, you know, the Coors Light or Bud Light or Bud Dry, there's so many good ones that she did. I picked this one this is the Mug Root Beer one, and there's a very specific reason why I chose this one. And yeah, let's watch it and then I'll explain.
Wanna go psycho with me, Elvira, here at the Bates Motel? Look for me wherever they sell Mug Root Beer. And enter the Go Psycho with Elvira contest. You can be my guest at Universal Studios in Hollywood for a monstrous bash at the Bates Motel. Shower anyone? This Halloween, go psycho with Elvira and win a party with Mug Root Beer and me.
I love my mug.
I love it.
So, I've never seen this commercial before.
Really?
I don't remember it, but just from watching it right now, today, first time ever, I think I know what you might want to call out.
There's a couple things, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sure you probably caught one of them.
Michael Berryman's in it.
Yes, Michael Berryman's off to the left in the scene where it's like all the kind of ghouls pop up in the background.
Yeah.
Of course, from The Hills Have Eyes fame, but you know, a great actor and been in a lot of stuff. A really great genre actor. On The Hills Have Eyes. He's in The People Under the Stairs. He's in. Wait, no, he's not in People Under the Stairs. What else is he in? He's in. Shit.
Was he in one of the Rob Zombie films?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. What else he was in? Well, obviously, The Hills Have Eyes 2.
The Devil's Rejects. He was in the Devil's Rejects. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay. Yep, that was he. I mean, he's been in a lot of things. He was in Weird Science.
He was one of the mutants in that.
Yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, played a small role in that. New York Ninja, which was just a couple years ago. But you know, he's been in a ton of great stuff. But The Devil's Rejects, was the other kind of big one that I was thinking of. He's in Lords of Salem. He was in a few different Rob Zombie flicks. Definitely best known for The Hills Have Eyes. Didn't we watch Kill or Be Killed? Didn't we watch that for some reason? Did we do that in a Tubi roulette or something?
No.
Or am I thinking of something else?
You watched that on your own and probably got high.
All right, fine. Yep, I was probably stoned and watched that.
You probably just watched it after watching a movie for this show.
Yeah, you're probably right. And they just blended together. The other thing I loved about this, besides the quick Michael Berryman cameo, is at the end, the zombie ghoul guy at the end that goes, "I love my mug." It genuinely, I don't know what it is, scared the piss out of me as a kid.
Really?
I don't know why. This was from, I think, late 80s, early 90s. So I was a young kid, but holy shit. This, for whatever reason, the way he says it to this day still kind of like gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I don't know why.
Is it because it looks like one giant tooth and not teeth in his head?
That's part of it. It's this like weird zombie doing baby talk, maybe. I don't know why, but the way he delivers the line, it doesn't make any sense and is so unsettling and doesn't match his character or the tone or anything. But they kept it in there, and that ad ran 1 million times a day, and it freaked me out so much. It was like he was fucking with me. Like he was doing this. I love my mug.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat your brains.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat your brains. Like I was. Why are you fucking baby talk to me? You fucking ghoul. I don't know. That was the main reason why I picked it. Also, like I said, the Easter egg of Michael Berryman popping up there. Yeah, go back and rewatch it. He's like way off to the left. Like he's on screen, but just barely off to the left when they all pop up behind Elvira. But she's a damn treasure. I know people give her shit about the whole, ripping off Vampira and all that type of stuff, but she's an entertainer. She does a fantastic job with it. She's made it kind of her own thing. She's fucking iconic. You gotta love Elvira.
That the opening with the Bates Motel in the background is so recognizable to, I think, again, to our generation, because that was such a piece of that Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it was part of the tour or whatever, like you could always see it, but it was always used.
It was just up on the hill kind of thing.
And they're always just like, there it is. Check it out.
Yeah. And they did, like I said, they did a giveaway to party at the Bates Motel with Elvira for, I think, Bud Light and Coors Light, maybe, like multiple companies. I want to say there was a Doritos promo with the Bates Motel and Universal. It was like a big initiative that, like, apparently these individual brands didn't have exclusivity on. Like, they recycled this idea quite a bit, and Elvira's in a few of those commercials.
Yeah. I was surprised it took till now to get to the Elvira commercial, because, like you said, she did a bunch of beer commercials as well, which I very clearly remember, like the Elvira standee.
Oh yeah,
like
it was in every grocery store, every liquor store. Yeah, you were always going to see that popping up. And I even as recently as maybe a few years ago looked up what they're going for on eBay.
Oh yeah,
and it's outrageous.
I'm sure
it's outrageous. It's expensive. Several $100s for a fucking cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
But
hey, it's a cardboard cutout. If it still like stands up, like they took care of it,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they took all the time for 25, 30 years to hold on to that, good for them. But I have enough bullshit that I collect. I don't need to start doing giant cardboard cutouts. But
one shows up at the house and Kate just starts asking questions.
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time before. Listen, I'm not trying to get divorced. That's all I'm saying. But
these are my new friends.
Don't talk to Elvira like that. She understands me. The ones I was actually looking for initially were the ones for Pepsi that were when the Pepsi did the Universal Monsters, and they all had like Hawaiian kind of shirts and stuff tie in. You know what I'm talking about? Those are expensive as hell. But you know what, guys? The struggle's real. Struggle's real out here. All right. Anything else about some of our commercial picks? Anything else to add? I think this was fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna do. I'm excited to do one for Christmas commercials. We should do that as well, but also creepy Christmas commercials, because there are. You think, well, Christmas commercials are all very sappy. There's some fucking terrifying ones out there that I think we should focus on that doesn't have anything to do with horror. They're just
unpleasant,
inadvertently terrifying.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll jump on that in the future. So
there is, however, always that the one that's very specific to us that we will all know is the Eden Park commercial.
Yeah, love the Eden Park commercial.
I don't think I'm familiar.
You didn't grow up here. You don't go here.
Wait, you don't go here. You're talking.
Oh my
Not seeing the Eden Park, the Christmas tree that bends down and picks up the star. Really? All right, we're gonna watch it, and you're gonna bawl your eyes out. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating.
You cry now.
Kate cries when she sees it. She has like a mug of the Eden Park tree, and yeah, it elicits visceral reactions to Yinzers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that holds a place in our heart.
Don't spoil it. It's spooky season. Wait till Christmas.
Yeah, this is Christmas. It's Christmas, guys. Don't listen. We have a little bit of time left. Don't fucking rush it. All right, boys and ghouls. Thanks for joining us for this fun little bonus spooky ooky episode. And yeah, we're going to have an episode drop on Monday just like normal. And then get ready because we are also going to announce our Universal Monsters picks for our showdown episode for November, which is going to hit in that first Monday in November, which should be a lot of fun. We're going to watch some spooky ooky Universal Monster flicks here. Enjoy your Halloween, guys. Be safe. Have fun. Hail Satan. Anything else?
Hail capitalism.
Hail capitalism. Hail Satan. For the Halloween is Forever crew, I'm Brian.
I'm Meg.
I'm Steve.
See you, spooky ookies. Bye.